He is, without a doubt, a future PBA Hall of Famer. And today, Bill O'Neill will continue his quest to add another major championship to his resume. It'll be here at the quarterfinals of the PBA Players Championship, next on FS1. Welcome inside the historic house for the PBA Players Championship presented by Snickers. We are at Bolero in North Brunswick, New Jersey. And once again, enthusiasm is the word of the day. The PBA Players Championship presented by Snickers has already seen the #1 seed, E.J. Tackett, knocked out by Kevin McCune. So Jacob Buttriff, whom you'll see in the first match, is our highest seed left. His opponent will be the two-handed lefty, Kevin Williams. That'll be followed by Matt Russo and Bill O'Neill. Hello again, everybody, with the Hall of Famer, Randy Pedersen.
Thank you, New Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel like little Steven next to Bruce Springsteen. So you've got Jacob Buttriff, I think, on the rebound. He picks up his first win in 4 years this year. And I don't know if there's a streakier guy on the PBA Tour that once he cranks it up and gets the heat going, then he can just strike all day and night.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's known for, right? He gets on those heaters, and he can strike and outstrike everybody on the tour, and he's proving that now. You know, coming into the World Series of Bowling, which we just got done with a couple of weeks ago, Jacob was having a pretty nice season. And then we get to the WSOB in Milwaukee, and man, did he catch a heater. Winning for the first time, like you said, in 4 years. EJ had a chance to take him out after he left the bucket. Instead, it's a 10-pin for EJ Tackett, and Buttriff wins for the 8th time. You know, he's on a heater. Like you said, he likes to ride those heaters. And keep in mind that coming into this event, he's had not 1, but 2 perfect games.
And something else to keep in mind, a rarity for television. We have 4 bowlers. That's not unusual. But only 1 right-hander. It's the Bill O'Neill Invitational on the right-hand side, and all the traffic's left now.
Absolutely correct. I mean, Bill O'Neill's got the whole right side to himself. If he sets the lanes up, if he's able to set that side of the lane up, he's going to be tough to beat. But what I'm going to watch for is all of the turbulence on the left side of the lane. The lefties are going to have to make way more adjustments than they're accustomed to because of all the traffic they're going to experience tonight.
And one of those lefties is standing by with Kimberly right now, Jacob Buttriff.
Thanks, guys. So, Jacob, you're on a bit of a hot streak this season. You're coming off a win at the World Series of Bowling, and this is your 6th championship round appearance. So what's clicked for you? What got you on this path this season?
Just staying patient, staying in the moment. I was making excuses for my bad bowling, so I think I just went out there and started seeing what I needed to, not making excuses, went out and did my thing, and here we are today.
Well, there's 3 lefties on this show. How is that going to affect your strategy?
It's definitely going to be more transition, but just staying ahead of the move and getting into my comfort zone and seeing what I like to see. I'm just going to go out there and give it the best I got.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, the best he's got may be good enough, but it's going to be a difficult match against Kevin Williams. Now, we have the thing called a race for 2 tonight, and it's the winner of game 1, you get a point. If you win game 2 and game 1, you're moving on. Simple as that. However, if the first 2 games are split, we will have a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. And the higher seed, which obviously is going to be Jacob in this case, is going to get the lane choice. Here's a look at the two-handed lefty, Kevin Williams, who took care of another two-handed lefty.
Yeah, he destroyed the Iceman.
We speak, of course, of Jesper Svensson, who was defeated the other day by Kevin Williams. So we have a two-handed lefty and a one-handed lefty in this match.
Yeah, two-hander and one-hander, and ironically, both rev rates about the same. So on the power scale, these two players are equal.
So here's an 8-time PBA Tour champion in Jacob Buttriff. Wow. That's a 2.1 breakpoint board. There's not much left to do if you went any farther left.
Too far to the left, Dave, and even on the short pattern, it's not going to get back from there. But Jacob, what he has to do is throw another big hook into this and try to cut that 3-pin into the 7.
We're playing on dual patterns, and we'll get into that here very, very shortly. Just like that, nothing to it. Hand me the card, because the spare of the game is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Want to get moving fast? With same-day mortgage, you can go from application to approval in as little as 1 business day. Time to get your dream home crazy fast. Learn more at rate.com. Right out of the textbooks. So a bizarre leave there with that 10-pin tacked on to the 3-5-6. Now Buttriff is the number 2 seed in qualifying, did not have to bowl on Saturday. The top 4 seeds had a Saturday bye. Well, his spare shooting skills have already been challenged in 2 frames.
6 spare, 6 spare. Wow. Remember, there's no pictures on the scorecard.
Good point. You're absolutely right. You see the difference in average. Buttriff comfortably in front, has a couple of 300s here. And, you know, the low games are what they are. But, you know, Randy is the Russian judge. You throw out the high and the low, and we keep going. To the face, and a little ugliness early on here for both bowlers. 2, 4, and 8, and a 7.
And again, we touched on this in the open. It's going to be all about the transition with all of these urethane balls on the left side going down the lane, and it's not something that the Southpaws see a lot of, and they're going to see it today.
Yep. You may hear them say maybe, and he covers that expertly.
We've had 4 shots thrown, Dave, and 3 of the 4 have been 6 counts.
That's all I need to see.
Well, that was an easy graphic to build.
He's using a purple hammer. Jacob Buttriff using a purple hammer.
Which leads me to a question I'll ask after this shot. Quitter, 7.
Another
Do you
one.
anticipate any reactive in this match?
In this match?
Just these 2,
no.
If we go all the way to the end, you think it's urethane all the way?
I think so.
Okay. "45 feet on the left, 39 feet on the right," and Randy will be breaking that down here momentarily. Look out. All right, he got it and hung in there.
Light and high for Jacob Buttriff to start this game 1 against Kevin Williams.
Well, he also has a mindset and an envy tour, and again, the higher the number, the more it's likely to hook. More will. Mixer for Buttriff. And the first strike goes to Butters.
All right, Don Carter on the right, Dick Weber on the left. 2 of the most iconic names in the history of the PBA Tour. And you can see just how the players are attacking these 2 different oil patterns. I think a little bit farther to the outside part of the lane on the Don Carter 39-footer. That was reactive.
Yes, it is, and a tap on the 7. That was a quick decision.
Yeah, he threw 1 shot on that lane. 1 shot with reactive, went light, or excuse me, with urethane, went light, and then went to the reactive ball. That's a mindset that he just threw there.
A very good look at that. And you see the purple hammer being reached for by Kevin Williams. Kevin. Springfield, Missouri. 7 years, has the title. Won the Shark Championship last year in Wauwatosa. And a messenger wrap around, and down goes Frazier.
And Williams gives it a little shimmy. Headpin, sidewall. The bird dog, the scout, as we used to call it back in the day. Messenger.
Not quite Steph Curry, but pretty good. Well, that one, you see the break point that time, 5-5. Of course, the 9-pin complicates things a little bit. This will be the first time that Kevin has left this in this event this week. Perfectly done. Some good spare shooting lessons for bowlers out there right now.
Yeah. A lot of 6 counts early on.
Is that 4 already?
It is.
We haven't even hit the break. Oh, yes. Flush. Drive him out. If you're wondering about that number 21, that's Jacob's favorite number. No other significance attached to it. And, yep, look at that. Right back to the urethane again.
So here's something interesting. He goes to the stronger ball and actually moves left and goes straighter. He was trying to slow loop the urethane.
Well, whatever it is, it's working suddenly for Jacob Buttriff.
Looked good there, didn't it?
And that looked good too. So little dance moves. We got everything already. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. Want to move fast? With same-day mortgage, you can go from application to approval in as fast as 1 day to get you closing on the home of your dreams in just 10 days. Learn more at rate.com. And by Bolero, the #1 place to bowl, party, and play with over 325 locations nationwide. Head to Bolero.com today to find a center near you. So the dreaded shot after the break. A little bit of a problem if you saw our earlier show with shots after the break. It's Kevin Williams' turn on the barrel this time, trailing by 11. Didn't seem to have much of an impact as that one went right through the nose.
That was a big right miss on the right lane out of the commercial for Kevin Williams.
He has shot this 6 times and drilled it 6 times.
Where do you get all those great numbers and stats?
Where do we get all those great numbers and stats? Would that be Lane Talk?
The one and only Lane Talk. For more information, folks, go to lanetalk.com, please.
And the 2023 USFL season continues next weekend on Fox, starting Saturday as the Houston Gamblers take on the Birmingham Stallions at 4 Eastern. Then next Sunday, it's the Memphis Showboats versus the New Orleans Breakers at 3 Eastern. Also at Fox and all streaming on the Fox Sports app. Man, Houston Gamblers, that was the name when Jim Kelly was their quarterback in the year.
Isn't that
the
crazy?
Old days. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Well, Kelly and I actually were classmates at the U. He doesn't know that, though.
That's as good as I got.
And it's good enough, Kevin.
I don't know if that's a good thing, though. When that as good as you've got goes light mixer. What do you think, Dave?
It might be ominous.
I mean, as good as you got, you want that ball high flush, right?
You want 10 in the pit, as you would say in concussion protocol. And no, that was hit him thin, watch him spin.
Jacob Butcher playing both lanes the same now, 2 different bowling balls. Urethane on the right. Nice.
Well, that had a snap to it.
Yeah, and reactive on the left. But remember the shorter pattern, right? So that urethane looks nice. It's got a nice shape to it. He's going with the reactive on the longer pattern.
Well, what is going right now for Buttriff is he could be on one of those streaks. 3 in a row. And 4 of the last 5 frames. Whoa, that should have been another one. That should have been another one.
Yeah, that just shows you how much room he's got on that left lane with reactive. That was well inside the last shot on that lane, Dave, and he rings the 7-pin. And that was pretty high flush for missing that far in.
That's the shot that you would wanted Kevin Williams to have seen when he said that's the best I've got. That's your example right there. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I would have rather, hey, that's the best I've got, and then it goes ring 10 for me, right?
We all eating popcorn. We got sticky, slippery fingers. What's going on here?
I think somebody dropped something, and he was saying, "Are you all eating popcorn? You have slippery fingers."
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
I didn't either.
So it might have been popcorn because that's not going to make a lot of noise. Maybe indeed.
Ooh. Kick save on the 7 and a beauty right there.
Another re-rack.
And a re-rack, he gets 2. He's going to take 1 right now.
One shot here.
And that's a double for him all of a sudden.
Yeah, can cut it to 2 now with another strike here in the 9th, setting up that 10th frame as well. But look at your max scores, 233 for Kevin, 235 for Butters. That would be Jacob Buttriff.
Very commonly known as Butters in the game.
Affectionately known as Butters.
Yes, there's nothing bad about that.
Or Buttercup.
That was a light hit and
Get that ball to do the right thing over there.
And I think he liked that. And you can see the numbers dictate just that. But the ball didn't shape up properly. And now he's in big trouble with Buttriff.
That's pretty close.
Unfortunately, pretty close. May not be enough to win this first game. We will have another game between these two after this. All right, it counts. It counts.
This one sucks.
So I think what's scary right now, if you're Kevin Williams, watching Buttriff get up in the 9th and 10th, is based on the last shot Buttriff threw on that left lane, he's got a lot of room on that lane. And Jacob knows it.
Ooh. Well, that's not something I expected to see there, the 6-pin for Buttriff. 28th bowler in PBA history to have a televised 300 game in the PBA Tour Finals. By the way, as a regional bowler, 27 PBA regional titles. That's where he first got noticed.
Did he have like 9 in one, a record 9 in one season?
Yeah, before he started to compete at this level consistently, he was and still is, just a guy, if he walks in the door at your regional, we're like, oh, we're playing for second.
2 300 games this event, this tournament. Needs 9, spare 9 to shut out Kevin Williams here in the 10th. And he's going to finish on what appears to be his good lane.
It certainly is good lane. That's maybe the best shot we've seen in the game so far.
right over that last rangefinder down lane. There it is again. He spiked it.
He knew it too.
He's got some room. Check out these numbers. That's a great thing for any pro. When you know you've got a little mistake area left and right of target, that'll free the swing up quick.
And since he's got this point, you see Dino Castillo, his ball rep, handing him something else to play with, just to take an experimental last shot.
Yep.
Okay, that experiment was a success, so keep an eye out for that ball in game number 2. So the first point will go to Jacob Buttriff. If he wins the next game, we're finished with these two, and Buttriff moves on to next week's semifinals. But Kevin Williams isn't finished. If he wins the second game, then we'll have a roll-off of 9th and 10th frames. And Kevin Williams has been fishing and not getting many bites.
Two strikes on the right lane, and that's it for Kevin Williams. And that's the good news. The bad news is he only has one strike on the left lane.
Ooh. And on that happy note, at least if you're Kevin Williams, we're going to get ready for another game. Jacob Buttriff has one more game to win to knock Kevin Williams out and remain the highest seed left in the PBA Players Championship quarterfinals, presented by Snickers here on FS1. A tribute to Dikembe Mutombo.
Nice.
Jacob Buttriff, 224 to 188 over Kevin Williams in game number 1 here, this quarterfinal of the PBA Players Championship presented by Snickers. Kevin certainly has his supporters, but he also is trying to find the right line. He's standing by with Kimberly.
He sure is, Dave. So, Kevin, you looked a little frazzled out there. What needs to happen in this next match to figure things out?
Just go out there and do what I do all the time in the lane. Just be who I am and, you know, gear down, make a little bit better shots. I think I came in a little bit too loose. Just got to focus up a little bit. It's all. A little bit different game plan than yesterday, so we just got to commit.
Well, you're down 1, but not out. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and Kimberly is absolutely right, because earlier today we went to roll-offs in both matches. E.J. Tackett rallied with a late rush to force a roll-off against Kevin McCune, which McCune did win. And, you know, the roll-offs are exciting. They're totally unpredictable. And that's Packy Hanrahan there.
Getting into his front part of the lane. So hopefully it can just go through the pins. Like the first couple shots were close.
And Jacob Buttriff's just going to go ahead and bowl, because that's what he does. And also Anthony Simonson and Tomas Keiko did not go to a roll-off. Simonson took care of business. Oh, and that's taking care of business.
Right turn, Clyde. Inside a target. See that rangefinder right there? It looks like he gets on top of it, but man, did that thing break loose.
Let me fix something. They did go to roll-off. Simonson and Tomas Keiko, and Simonson won that. So we've had nothing but roll-off so far today. There you go. That's the best looking shot, I think, anyway.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kev.
I got one to lay there. All right, dude, one shot here. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
So right now the transition is primarily going to happen on this lane right here. Both players mirroring one another. Both players using very strong surface with those urethane bowling balls. It's like taking lane screen or a Brillo pad to a ball and scuffing it up. And it really wreaks havoc with the front part of the lane, and then the carry down towards the pins with the oil.
Do the right thing.
Oh. Kind of a flat 7, a little bit.
But so far.
But he sounds and looks a little bit more encouraged than he did near the end of game 1.
All right, that's pretty good.
Coming up after this, by the way, we will have Bill O'Neill, Matt Russo, a righty-lefty matchup. Billy O getting the right side to himself tonight. Which means I guarantee I can't predict the size of our audience. I know one guy who's watching. Chris Barnes is watching tonight because it's the lefties beating up on each other. And right now, Jacob Buttriff is handing out some ruler wax on the wrist to these pins here in New Jersey.
Nice shot here on the right lane for Buttriff. And Buttriff, strike-on-strike percentage, the highest all week long out of all the players.
That doesn't surprise me. That's who he is.
Oh, that looked pretty good, and it took its time coming around the corner after that Brooklyn in the first, and he leaves a half 7.
He's missed a few of these this week, as you see for yourself. Not that one. But how about the fact that he shot, that's the 62nd one he shot at in the days of this event here in New Jersey, at this historic home of many major championships. Was once known as Carolina Lanes, now is Bolero, North Brunswick. At first, I thought it wasn't going to go make it to the pocket. It didn't, but it wasn't light. It was heavy through the nose.
All week when you hit it like that, it does that. Quit hitting it.
Yeah, so what he means by that is he got a little too much hand in,
So early.
in the ball at release, and it hooked early. That early hook causing the ball to go high.
9 for 9 this week, Kevin, on that particular shot.
All week, man. Don't hit it. Float her through there.
I feel like we're going to owe him a couple of bucks for color commentary.
Float it on through.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting back and taking it in.
He's helping us out
Just
quite a
gotta
bit.
do the right thing once.
All right, last time up on the left lane, it was the quitter 7.
That almost crossed over, but you know what?
Yeah, almost it did. And he caves in the 4-7 late. But yeah, that was just a fraction from being a perfect flush Brooklyn hit. As you can see right there.
Man, that is just raw power from Buttriff.
And good numbers here as well, Dave. Look at those. Here's an ace for Jacob Buttriff.
His style is so unique. You remember the first time you saw him, what you thought of?
I do.
Whoa! That's explosive.
Oh, a little dirty. Yeah, I do remember what I thought of the first time I saw this kid. And it was years ago, and I remember where, too. It was in Reno, Nevada, at the bowling stadium. I'm like, who's this guy? This guy can't beat anybody. Yeah, was I wrong?
Well, he's, everyone knows about his flexibility and his wrists and all that, but it's everything about him is unique. Whoa, K-Dub just not getting a break there on a good-looking ball.
They said the same thing about Walter Ray.
That's
I mean,
true.
let's face it. If you never knew who this guy was, and I bowled a 10-game sweeper back in the early 80s with Walter Ray Williams Jr. in Orange County, California. Didn't know who he was. Never saw this guy before in my life. Had no idea he'd become the winningest player in the history of the sport. And by looking at him and his style, you would have never thought that was going to happen.
Right.
Well, guess what?
Re-rack coming up for Kevin as he converts for the 59th time this week, the 7-pin. which just proves that you can win in multiple ways. Then we started seeing two-handers, and you can't do that and all that. Well, that's embedded in the game now. We take a look at career titles, Walter, and that's just the PBA Tour, not counting 50, not counting everything else. There's Norm, Pete, of course, Parker, who is here, and he'll become more of a story in our next match.
Yep.
And the late Mark Roth, who will be celebrated next week with the Roth-Holman doubles, which will be broadcast on Bowl TV. Yeah, a little mixer there finally for Kevin Williams, who's trailing 1-0, and if he can't win this match, he will be eliminated. Jacob Buttriff will be up when we come back. Quarterfinal action of the PBA Players Championship presented by Snickers will continue, and following this match, Bill O'Neill, Matt Russo. So Jacob Buttriff, 4 strikes out of 5, rocking his second double. As the PBA Players Championship presented by Snickers continues with one of 2 quarterfinals here on FS1 in North Brunswick, New Jersey. And there's nothing left. Taking no prisoners that time, Buttriff.
Yeah, look at the break point number. How about that? Any good?
I like it. I like it. He doesn't, right now, unlike earlier today when players definitely developed favorite lanes, they both are working well for him.
Remember Jacob saying how he has to stay ahead of the transition. He actually moved right on that last shot on the right lane.
Okay,
oh
he's making it rain in here. He is making it rain.
Well, this is significantly inside the last few shots, and he's looking at it like, wow, that actually laid there and went flush.
And he was also very quick to make a ball change in this match against Kevin. And that's the only possible response for Kevin Williams to still have a pulse in this game.
I got a double, 1 double. Yeah.
Kevin only had 1 double in game 1, and right now looking for 3 in a row here in game 2 and try to claw his way back in it, down 31 here in the 8th frame.
Hopefully Kevin gets a chance to sign that. I was watching the curve on the break point more than I watched the contact that time to see if he would get to where he was supposed to, and we know what happened.
Yeah, and you can see completely different break point down lane, inside a target.
It's tough. Two. That's pretty good. Light mixer. Hit that one out.
Well, pretty good's not going to work right now. Not against this guy, not at this moment. The festival continues. And we have a Pabst 6-pack alert. If Butter strikes here, he'll win $1,000 sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Please remember to drink responsibly. I am a betting man, and I would put a nickel that he'll do it.
Wow, what a stretch, Dave. What a stretch.
Don't I go out on a limb better than anybody you've known?
Wow, a nickel.
Well, a nickel can mean other things in gambling terms, you know.
Reminds me of that movie, $1. Here you go, Mortimer. Thank you, Randolph.
Very good trading places.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks
Eddie
for
Murphy,
getting that.
Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm on it.
Yep. And tell you who's all over it is Jacob Buttriff, and he is going to move on to the semis.
And he will take on the winner of the next match, Bill O'Neill and Matt Russo. That will be on May 13th at 12:30 Eastern on FS1. Already through, you have Kevin McCune and Anthony Simonson. And so Jacob will remain the highest seeded player left. He'll get all the lane choices he wants as long as he lasts.
Yes, sir.
Try my best, buddy.
Well, you know what, Kevin struggled the first game. He looks a little better in this game, but this was just Buttriff. That's all there is to it.
Right.
It's,
Yeah, just not enough firepower. You can't match him strike for strike, and Jacob right now is locked in and striking.
I'll bet someone $1 I double. Anyone?
Hey,
$1?
Dave, I think he's talking to you.
All right, I see you. I see you. I only have $1, guys. I don't got more than one. I literally have $1. Dial in.
all right, let's see here. Ooh, wow. How about double or nothing on the spare?
All right.
I will.
I owe you 95 cents.
Well, Kevin being a good sport about this.
Yep.
It was a good tournament for him.
Thank you, guys.
He made it through to the quarterfinals after routing Jesper Svensson on Saturday. But he can take some solace in the fact that Jacob Buttriff was just about unstoppable, especially in this game where he's ripping through 6 in a row, and who knows what he's going to do here. What else?
Ooh. Cooler than a polar bear's feet in this match. All Buttriff. And this is a rout. Max score 279. Be the highest game we've seen the televised finals of the Players' Championship this season.
Now he's got one more for you.
Yeah, and coming up is the guy who had the highest game until now. Bill O'Neill.
Bill will go after that pristine, untouched, Masters smooth right side.
Shows that mindset.
Only 278. Darn it.
The pristine, untouched,
Yes.
Augusta-like right side of the lane.
Yes. Where there's not even a first cut. It's all fairway. So Jacob Buttriff is moving on. Now it's going to be righty-lefty. Bill O'Neill, multiple-time champion. Matt Russo, a rising star. Going to be a good one. And it's a battle border. It's Philly versus Jersey coming next. And welcome back inside in North Brunswick, New Jersey at Bolero, the PBA Players Championship quarterfinals presented by Snickers. Next week, the semifinals, Saturday at 12:30 on FS1, and then the championship next Sunday, 1 p.m. on Fox Eastern Time. We have 3 of those semifinal spots locked up. We're going to figure out number 4 with 1 or 2 more games of bowling. They say attitude is everything in life, so which PBA pros have the best and the worst outlook on the lanes? Find out in tonight's Pressing Questions with Kimberly Pressler, presented by Go Bowling.
Bill, who is of the personality of glass is half empty out here?
Oh, there's a lot of glass half empty guys out here. At the moment, it might be myself.
Who is the most negative on tour?
Negative. Oh, anyone that just shot 140. It always seems that the most negative people are Hall of Famers.
I would have to say Mr. Barnes.
Chris Barnes has gotten pretty negative. I think it might have to do with old age.
Well, I'm sure some people probably listed me as that guy, but I not everybody understands witty sarcasm.
Would you be surprised if I told you that someone said that you have a positive personality?
Yeah, I would be very surprised.
Now, who would you say is the most positive personality out here?
Probably Butters.
Jacob Buttriff.
I love everybody on tour, so I want to say when I walk into a bowling center, you always get positive vibes from Kyle Troop.
See, a lot of the other athletes that I interviewed, it was a very easy answer for them, and they said it was you, that you are the most positive on tour.
Really? I'm wow, I'm flattered.
I mean, the guy that's winning the most is probably the most positive, so it's pretty easy to probably say Belmo.
I mean, I would give it to Belmo. He strikes a lot.
The most positive? It's usually Belmo because he's always winning.
I try to be really positive out here.
He's always skipping around the bowling center because he's either leading or, he's in if he has a bad block and he's in 10th, he's still kind of happy.
When they see me skipping, as they say, I think that's an indication that I'm going to have a good week, and it already gets into their heads a little bit.
Mind games, right off the bat.
Watch me skip out of here tonight, don't I?
Please do. We got the camera rolling. Do it. Do it. Do it.
So the question begs to be asked, not who the current happy and not so happy people are, but what were you like?
Well, I mean, my nickname was Professor Positive on tour, but I'm guessing that was pure sarcasm.
Witty sarcasm, as Barnes would say.
Yeah, that was as far from the truth as it gets. Yeah,
Always.
It always, it was based on how well I was doing. If I was, and I think it's the same for a lot of guys out here. You're bowling well, man, everything's great. You're bowling bad, it stinks.
Well, it's been going very well for Bill O'Neill as he gets ready to maybe be the fourth player here against Matt Russo, the fourth of our semifinalists. It's a righty-lefty battle, yes. It is also a Jersey and Pennsylvania battle. Bill, the man from Croydon, Pennsylvania, that's his home house right there, Bolero, Bristol. Howell Lanes in the background of Matt Russo from Howell Township, New Jersey. They can both sleep in their own beds. It's a definite advantage for these two bowlers. And Bill, I've been joking calling it the Bill O'Neill Invitational, which is finally about to begin because he's the only right-hander this evening.
Yeah, the great right hope. Bill O'Neill has the right side of the lane to himself, and it's all going to be dependent upon if he's able to create a shot for himself. Are there enough practice shots? Mm-hmm. Is he going to have enough time to make something develop?
Well, he's got 2 games here in this race to 2. If you win 2 games, you're moving on. If it's 1-1 after 2, we go to a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. And, of course, Bill on Saturday in the first round of the PBA Players Championship on Saturday night just dusted off Dom Barrett.
Yeah. He had the highest game coming into today and this evening at 253 to Dom Barrett's 208, and he looked really impressive. We'll see if he still has a little bit of that on tonight's telecast.
Looking to add another title, another major to a glowing future Hall of Fame resume is Bill O'Neill, but the talented two-hander from Jersey, Matt Russo, will be a very difficult hurdle to jump. That match is coming up to wrap up the quarterfinals next. The on-lane graphics you see tonight are courtesy of Clutch Bowling.
Man, the graphics from Clutch Bowling, they're so awesome. And when they put the oil patterns down with Clutch, we don't have any dye in the oil. For the telecast, it's great stuff they're putting out there for us.
Yeah, it's easy to read for everybody here, and I know if folks at home get a chance, or wherever they're watching it, they get a chance to appreciate it as we appreciate Kimberly taking a moment, standing by with Bill.
Thanks, Dave. So, Bill, I think you and Matt have split the hometown crowd here. Each of you, are from about 45 minutes away, but it is a special day for you because not only is your family in the crowd, but it's your 13-year wedding anniversary to your beautiful wife, Christy. You can see right behind us. Congratulations on that. So how much incentive does it give you to come out here and win it?
It's awesome bowling in front of hometown crowd. I got a bunch of buddies here, and obviously having my family here. I asked my kids to do something for me 2 days in a row, and they did it. So this is a win for me, regardless.
Absolutely, take the win. Yeah. Now let's talk bowling for a quick second because I never get to say this. You are the only one on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Is that an advantage for you?
I don't know. It's new territory for me, so I gotta pay attention to the lanes and. The transition won't be as fast as it normally is, and it's just, I just gotta get out there and throw good shots and just, pay attention to what's happening.
Well, let's get to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kimberly, and thank you, Bill. There is Christy and the kids.
It is me starting, right? First game?
Yeah. And, Matt Russo's got some strong representation, too, including something that you're not going to believe when you see it. We'll get to that. Let's get to bowling first. Now, O'Neill's the lower seed. He's the number 6 seed, so Matt Russo had the choice, and he's going to put Bill on the left lane to start. That's never good when the first thing out of your mouth is, ah.
3-6-10 left to target early to start for O'Neal. And he knew it as soon as it left his hand and crossed inside a fourth arrow.
You see the difference in the patterns. The 45-foot Dick Weber on the left, the Don Carter 39 feet on the right-hand lane. No shock to see Bill convert that.
3-6-10's a very popular leave out here for the right-handers, and it's left quite often, and you better be good at making it. We've seen tournaments lost before by missing the 3-6-10.
It's a dangerous spare to have to shoot. There's choppability there. Whoa! Messenger shot right in front of the 10 on its way to take care of a 7-pin it didn't need to take care of for Matt Russo. Pretty shot otherwise. Routine spare for Matt Russo. Let's take a look at a little head-to-head graphic here and show you the averages, highs and lows of these two. Average, just about 3.5 in favor of Matt. Strike percentage, virtually equal. Matt, one of several to throw 300s here at Bolero, North Brunswick. In the low game, well, ultimately, they're still on the show.
Matt going with reactive resin on the left lane. We saw Jacob do that in our opening match.
Mixer.
So Russo using brutal collision on the left lane and a purple hammer on the right lane. O'Neal going with Black Widow Ghost on the left lane and purple hammer on the right.
Good as it gets right there from Bill. He's done it before in this event. His last win on tour was a major championship, the 2020 PBA Players Championship, back in February in Wayne Webb's place in Columbus, Ohio. He was the number 3 seed in that event and had a terrific match with E.J. Tackett. Beat E.J. by 1 pin for his 12th career title and 2nd major championship. He also beat Chris Prather, Belmo, in addition to EJ, to win that championship.
Yeah, it was quite an afternoon there.
Yeah, that's a murderer's row right there.
Yeah.
And O'Neal doubles. So question.
Sir.
Bill's in his 40s right now.
Yeah.
How's he keeping up with the young guns?
Well, that's a great question, and a question that we actually asked Bill, and he said, look, it's a power game, it's a speed game, and I'm trying anything and everything to try to keep up, to try to increase rev rate. I'll get to a little bit more right after this shot.
Matt's title in Jonesboro. Good old hijinks. Love it over there. Oh, my goodness.
Unfriendly. Bill even earlier this season tried to go to 14 pounds. To increase his rev rate. He said it made his hand faster at the release point, which obviously would create a higher rev rate.
Right.
That didn't work. He says, look, it's a challenge week in and week out. Matt Russo's 7-pin. He's left more 7-pins this week than any other player in the field.
77. I think Kevin Williams had 64. And Buttriff had 61 or 2. By the way, I should mention, Jonesboro, home of the NCAA Women's Champion, Arkansas State Red Wolves. Bowl out of hijinks. All right, now there's a goose there. Not a real one, obviously, for many reasons. We'll get you the story after this shot on the goose. Kimberly did some extra Nobel Prize style reporting on this to get the latest on the goose.
There's so many ways you can go with that.
I can, but I'm just going to be quiet and let a professional broadcaster take over. Kimberly?
Guys, this is absolutely going to be my best one because the guy holding the goose, his name is Mike, and he's one of Matt's brothers. And Matt tells me the story about the goose goes. When they were in their late teens, they saw the goose at a yard sale, and they said, we absolutely have to have that. And it just became one of those things that reminds them of the shenanigans of the youth. And since this is their first telecast that Mike has seen Matt compete live, they said, hey, let's have the goose make an appearance on television.
And he's got a pass, so he belongs in those seats. Thank you, Kimberly.
So you're buying that they got it at a garage sale?
Oh, no, they probably took it from somebody's yard. But she mentioned the shenanigans of youth, did she not? All right. Shenanigans of youth to me do not include garage sales. Oh, that's a tracker. Man, Bill O'Neill, 3 in a row and looking very, very smooth.
Bill going with the same combination he used yesterday. The reactive ball, that Black Widow Ghost on the left, and then the Purple Hammer on the shorter pattern on the right lane.
I would like to take a moment to welcome you all to the Beer Frame, sponsored by Pabst Blue Ribbon of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ask for the original and please drink responsibly. Or responsibly.
Ow.
All right, it could have been way, way darker for O'Neill on that one, as he has just the 8-pin to shoot out. But once again, he knows immediately something he doesn't like.
Yeah, I didn't like it out of his hand, and obviously created something down lane other than what he was looking for. He needed more down lane reaction on that left lane and didn't get it because the release wasn't what Bill O'Neill was trying to do. He covered a spare nonetheless. And you know, players feel it's such a field game that release, I used to call it the wet bar of soap syndrome. It's like when the ball comes out of your hand and all 3 fingers feel like they come out at the same time, and you got nothing on it.
Oh, okay.
And that's kind of what that shot was.
Matt Russo's arsenal, mentioned Brutal Collision is being used, and of course, the Purple Hammer. Uh-oh.
Well, seen a few of those the last couple days.
Earlier today with E.J. Tackett.
2 by Chris By yesterday. And now, Matt Russo.
Uh-oh. Did not get anything out of that.
Well, the only good stat that was just up was 3 of the 4 players that have actually converted the 710 on television were left-handed. Matt Russo being left-handed. The other bad stat that you didn't see is that Matt led the event in 710s left in the 48-game qualifier.
And, of course, the one right-hander that made it, Mark Roth, on TV. That's interesting about the lefties.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That'll make up for the 710.
Really nice.
Matt Russo with a recovery shot. The problem is when we return, Bill O'Neill will be up with a 34-pin lead in the Philadelphia versus New Jersey battle. Right now, advantage to the 76ers. And Bill O'Neill, righty versus lefty. Lots of conflict here with Bolero, North Brunswick. Now, registration for the inaugural 2023 PBA LBC National Championships is open now to all bowlers of all skill levels from all centers. This summer in Milwaukee, you can compete in singles as well as optional doubles and team events. Even combine your scores with the pros. Enter today at PBA.com.
Tons of money up for grabs in that event.
Cool. Money good.
Money real good.
Money can buy goods and services. It's a Simpsons reference.
See, I never really got into. Dude. I never really got into the Simpsons.
We'll talk.
Simpsons. I'm sorry.
That's right.
It's not that I don't like Homer, but I don't know. Look out!
Really? There we go. I was waiting for one of those messengers to intervene and give Bill an easier shot.
Now that could be the urethane transition where the ball hooked just a pinch early because everything else looked pretty good. And O'Neill fortunate to get that 4 out just leaving the 9.
First time he didn't strike on that right lane in the early midway through the match now. Frame number 6. The winner of this one will take on Jacob Buttriff on Saturday, and he was dominant, throwing over it was a 502 set for 2 games.
Yeah.
You serious?
278 closer.
17 strikes for Butters in that match.
Yeah. Game 2, 8 in a row.
Yeah.
To finish.
Yep. Even when the match was over, he was striking. That's a perfect shot.
Little inside down lane. See the break point board, 9.8. Pretty good position at the arrows, but it still holds pocket, still holds line, that 45-foot pattern on the left. I mean, this ball looks like it finished over by the 7-pin. Watch this. Pretty close, right over the 8. It's one way of not leaving an 8-pin.
PBA Rookie of the Year. And he picked up that title in Arkansas.
Another good shot by Matt, only to leave a 7-pin on the right lane. So Matt's heading over to Delaware next week for the Roth-Holman doubles.
Yeah.
You're heading over.
I am.
You know who Matt's bowling with? None other than Hall of Famer Parker Bone III. Yes, sir.
Well, that's his mentor. And Parker's here with his frighteningly talented sons.
Oh, my goodness. Man, can his kids bowl.
What does Parker have now? 512, 300 games or something like that?
There he is.
Yeah. Kind of a consigliere if Matt needs him. He's Parker Bone. He's the great Bone. Come on. He can go anywhere he wants in New Jersey.
Never pays for a meal. They've got a great training facility over at Howell Lanes, the home of Parker Bone. Matt Russo grew up there pretty much his entire bowling life. But a great training facility. Pull the name up here in a second. Come on.
Oh, well, gee. He had the left-handed version of the impossible dream. He cleared out the 3, but big deal.
Yeah, just wide left. Hoping for the best after that shot left his hand and didn't get it. Matt's parents, Parker and his wife, created Rev Rates and Bones Elite Training Center inside Howell Lanes.
He'll take one, but Bill O'Neill with a decided advantage as this first game draws to a close. We're going to have another game.
Yep.
It's a race to 2, and let's go hypothetical here because Bill's got a comfortable advantage. Let's say he hangs on and wins this game. If he wins the second one, we turn off the lights and everybody will be back next week.
Yep.
We've got our 4 set. However, should Matt rally and win game 2, then we will have a 9th, 10th frame roll-up. Well, he might get a kick on the 7 there. And then that will determine our winner. That happened on our show earlier in the day. And did not happen with Jacob Buttriff, who was just frighteningly dominant. Hard and straight.
I really liked the match with O'Neal and Dom Barrett yesterday. I feel bad for saying this, but it just had an old school sense to it.
You could hear Chris and Bo in your head when you're talking and about it.
And they're so not old school, but in today's game with the two-handers and the rev rates and the speed, and I mean, when is it? I mean, Kevin McCune throwing at 22 miles an hour.
Yeah, he did hit 22 earlier today. Yep.
Guys with 600 rev rate RPMs, it's.
Trip 4.7.
And remember, I just said 600. Bill O'Neal's at 436. You got guys in the fives, the 550s, guys that use their thumbs in the 500s.
That's what makes what he does all the more impressive to me. That
Absolutely.
he is still competitive, still making shows, still somebody. Yes, I know he hasn't won since 2020, but he's closer to reaching this last four and having a shot. Now, certainly Buttriff's not going to be an easy out, but nevertheless, he's going to be in a position, assuming he's able to win. Pretty shot there from Matt Russo in the foundation frame.
Yeah, and Matt right now just trying to get dialed in for game two. Earlier I was speaking to O'Neal, and we talked about how he was going to attack this pair. If he was going to play him similar than Anthony Simonson and what he did, and that was farther right on the left lane and much straighter. And he said, I can't do it. He said, I can't get the ball to push through the front part of the lane like Simonson. He says he's got tricks that I just can't duplicate.
Yeah. That's through the nose. The 9 pin at least was driven out of there, so it's a makeable 3-6-10, but it's going to be the first point to Bill O'Neal. And Russo will be fighting for his tournament life in game number 2.
Yeah.
What can he do? You mentioned he's looking for something. What can Matt do to turn this around? I ask you to be his ball rep for a minute.
I would probably move right on the left lane and increase my angle. And on the right lane, last shot he struck in the 7th frame, it was the pocket 710. Or excuse me, it was a 7 pin. In the 5th frame, it was a pocket 710. In the 3rd frame, it was a 7 pin. He's close on that lane.
Okay.
But it's the left lane that's really caused him a lot of trouble. I mean, open in the 8th. His last shot there in the 10th. He's got to figure something out on that left lane.
Ball change?
Maybe. Maybe he goes to something a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
A little less aggressive down lane.
So an easy one here for Bill. A comfortable victory in game number 1. He's halfway to taking down the final spot in the semis. It'll be next week on FS1 and the championship on Mother's Day, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And there's a messenger delivered for Bill O'Neal to give him a 238 to 160 game 1 victory on a special day in the O'Neal family. Wedding anniversary 13. Not always everybody's favorite number, but it's a good one for the O'Neal family, especially if Bill can win and make it 2 in a row and make the semis. PBA Players Championship presented by Snickers might be the final game in the quarterfinals unless Matt Russo can turn this thing around and against Bill O'Neal, who beat him handily in game number 1. And if Matt pulls it off, we'll have a 9th and 10th frame roll-off to determine the winner and the final semifinalist. And some equipment change coming up here for Matt.
Yeah, he's going to something that's a little less aggressive. He's going to purple reactive hammer. Well, you can see just how much straighter he can go with that ball. It's not as aggressive as the one he was using, which was the brutal collision, but He's still going to stay with the purple hammer urethane on the right lane.
There was a big conference in between during our break with Matt, Parker Bone III, Dino Castillo, and a couple of others, where they went into their bag of tricks to try to pull this one out and even things up. How do you tell them apart? Well, I guess once you'll figure it out. But.
And if you don't like purple, what do you do then?
Yeah. So O'Neill was pretty steady. His worst frame was the first frame last game when he had 7 spare, made the 3-6-10. Everything else was striker 9. Like that.
Come on. Come on. Soft hand. That hand soft.
Yeah, and his left to right lane comparison in terms of strikes is about the same, but playing these two lanes completely different. Urethane ball on the right lane, much straighter, obviously, and the reactive ball on the left lane, much deeper. The center part of that lane creating more angle. And here's a good look at that ball.
His last words before he went to the left lane was "stay soft, soft hand, stay soft."
Mm-hmm.
And how would you translate that to the viewer?
So last thing he wants to do is overhit it to where the ball might hook early or jerk or overreact down lane. So he kind of wants to push it or float it through the front part of the lane and just kind of let it behave based on the strength of the bowling ball. Not try to give it any extra gas, if you will.
Yep, I got it. In other words, the equivalent in golf would be like if you're using your wedge, let the club do the work.
Right. Right. So yeah, I mean, if you have to hit it farther, take out another club, right?
Right,
so
yeah.
Same thing with the equipment. You need more down lane reaction instead of trying to create that. Get a ball that hooks more, right? You want it to go longer and straighter. You do what Matt Russo just did, and that was to go to something that's less aggressive.
U.S. Amateur Champ, Rookie of the Year, a winner already on tour. Matt Russo in his mid-20s, building a very nice career for himself.
Oh.
Well,
we thought the right lane was going to be okay for Matt based on the last couple of shots he threw there, and just like that, right through the face, leaving the 2-4-6-10.
A lot easier than it is.
Very nice.
And he'll take a re-rack on the lane. The goose is loose. That was our and is our satisfying moment of the match, sponsored by Snickers. Nothing satisfies like a Snickers, although that shot is a close second.
Great cover by Matt.
And the first time you've seen him worked up in a good way. Maybe this will give him a little shot to get him going.
6-time member of Team USA. And trying to get dialed in with a new ball on the left lane here in game number 2.
Nope, didn't happen. 2-4-7-8 for the member of the Las Vegas High Rollers last year in the PBA League.
Yeah, and what makes this tough is the back pin, the 8-pin, because you have to have enough power to drive through the 2 and the 4 and still cover the 8-pin. See, a lot of players throwing it straight at this, especially on the right side of the 3, 6, 9, 10, sometimes even a backup ball. covered it perfectly.
He has had two extraordinarily hard spares to have to deal with as he's fighting for his tournament life here, and he made them both. They're the count killers. That's the bad news, but could have been a heck of a lot tougher on him if he doesn't make those. So maybe that will steady him a bit. He has once again gone back over to sort of Team Russo here. And it looks like Parker's doing the talking, and that's probably how it should be. A light and a break for Bill. Well, next Sunday on FS1, NASCAR hits the time machines as the Cup Series heads to Darlington for Throwback Weekend, the Goodyear 400. See who's going to rise up and conquer the Lady in Black. The pre-race begins at 1:30 Eastern, then the engines fire at 3, all on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Arlington, wow, that is a throwback. O'Neill won the first game. If he wins this one, that's all.
Oh, that was good. Oh, that one was good.
No one ever said this game was fair.
Or easy.
No.
O'Neill will make an adjustment off of that the next time up on the left lane. He's going to move his feet left. Not sure if he's going to take his target with him. He might just try to create a little bit more angle. But I think right now he's kind of starting to smell the chum in the water.
Yeah, I get your point.
You know what I'm saying?
He's the shark.
All right.
Yeah. And unfortunately for Matt, his ball reaction doesn't look all that good. And he hasn't really shown Bill O'Neill anything to be concerned about.
Right. That's a great point. What's Bill to be afraid of at this point? You know, in this game, it's been 9 spares, 6 spares, 6 spares, some tremendous spares. Russo has not doubled. Which leads to a question after this shot. I love the word you used earlier in the broadcast, turbulence on the left side. We had a lefty-lefty matchup, Buttriff and Kevin Williams. How do you think that turbulence is affecting Russo here?
I think it's obvious. I think the left side may be beyond repair now for Matt Russo because of that first match between Kevin and Jacob. I think he might be stuck. You try to play that same zone with the friction that's been created in the front part of the lane with those urethane balls that were going down the lane. You can see what's happened to Matt, and I think it's because of that first matchup.
His spare shooting has been remarkable, considering that
he's fighting.
He's running on a treadmill, but he can't catch Bill, who's running without a treadmill at the moment. Yes, the max scores indicate it's only an 11 pins, but it feels like a larger lead than 11.
Yeah, I mean, he's fighting, clawing and fighting, and, you know, the thing I like is that there's no give up. He makes the big split conversion in the second, goes off trying to get his friends and family pumped. I mean, this guy hasn't thrown in the towel yet. He's going to keep fighting until it's over.
Oh no, the lefty version of the impossible dream.
Light, high, light since the ball change on the left lane. Pretty much answers your last question.
Well, the make percentage on this is, you need a microscope to find it.
Again, we talked about it at the top of the show and the turbulence that was going to be created with 3 left-handers on tonight's telecast, and you're seeing it right in front of your eyes.
And the other question was how quickly would Bill adjust to anything, or how quickly the transition would happen. He's in a comfortable position right now.
Yeah, transition for Bill? Yeah, not so much.
Not so much. He gets a lefty next week, too, if he wins here. Close, but that's all right.
Yep, he just keeps peppering the pocket, and that's what he just wants to. I mean, you just keep the ball in the 1-3, make your spares. If they go down, great. Pad the lead, and move on to next weekend.
Go have a nice dinner tonight with your wife.
Absolutely.
Come on. Come on.
Bill, last victory was this same tournament in 2020. He won the playoff in 2021. Nearly won it in 2020. All right, tripped out trouble there. That was a little scary.
Pretty good.
So there was the adjustment after the back-to-back 4 pins on that lane, and he really liked it. Moved 2 left with his feet, tried to create a little bit more angle, threw it nice, and that one didn't want to make the hill. Fortunate just to leave a 2-pin.
Making no mistakes is Bill O'Neill's mantra for the rest of this game, and if he hangs on here, he will make the final spot for the semifinals to be shown next week at 12:30 Eastern on FS1. This is the PBA Players Championship presented by Snickers. The PBA on FS1 is sponsored by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to GoBowling.com to find a center near you. By Guaranteed Rate. Want to move fast? With same-day mortgage, you can go from application to approval in as fast as 1 day to get you closing on the home of your dreams in just 10 days. Learn more at rate.com. And by Bolero, the #1 place to bowl, party, and play, with over 325 locations nationwide. Head to Bolero.com today to find a center near you. You know, one of the things I love about working with Randy is he's always working during the break. He will sometimes text ball rep or talk to somebody who's here. This is how good Parker Bone's kids are. You talk not to Parker during the break, but to Brandon, his son, to get some information.
Well, Brandon's left-handed. He's unbelievable talent, and he was down in the pit when he was hearing the conversation with Matt and the ball reps, and he has a pretty good understanding and feel of what's going on. And he just basically reiterated what we've been talking about. The lanes have been destroyed on the left side from the first match with Jacob Buttriff and Kevin Williams.
And Matt Russo put his ball down for a moment and is reset. There may be a noise. Hopefully it wasn't us. I don't think it was. Trying to rally from 23 down. Seen that movie today. Too much.
You hear it? Time he moves one, it goes high. He moves back the other way, it goes light.
That time high. He is the number 13 taking some significance in this match. This will be his 13th attempt at this week. Uh-oh. That came back nicely. I heard him groan a little bit. I thought he missed it.
Tell you what, he's been solid in spares, though. You know, one of the things that really resonates with me throughout my professional career and broadcast career is how many times I've heard a comment from spectators, fans. Well, you're a pro. You're supposed to know how to adjust. Let me tell you, there's only so many adjustments you can make.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You might know how to adjust, but you still have to execute the adjustment and have to hope the conditions match what your brain tells you to do.
Yes, sir. That was a ball change on the left lane, and again, Matt trying anything and everything to get back in this and force it to overtime.
So Bill O'Neill just trying to avoid the big one. And he continues on this pattern of either strike or 9 spare, and that's just going to make him impossible to beat here.
First time I ever laid eyes on Bill O'Neill many, many years ago at the United States Open right here in this building. I think Bill finished 7th in that event as an amateur.
It was a fairly famous U.S. Open in this building about 11 years ago.
Who do you
That's
think you
right,
are?
man.
I am?
Yep, that's the day.
I was here for that.
Feels like all of America was here for that day. He doesn't like it, and he got a break.
Yeah, big one. Just the 3-6. Yeah, Weber that day climbed the ladder, beat Fagan in the title match, but I remember the first opening match was against Schaefer, Ryan Schaefer. And Schaefer had him pretty good, and somebody in the stands got Pete all riled up, and Pete just went all Mount Vesuvius on him. And the next thing you know, Pete just like in every match came down to the 10th frame, and it was just vintage Weber. And then the ultimate sunglasses into the dirt.
All of it, yeah, the whole deal.
And who do you think you are? I am. That basically made every channel.
It still does, by the way. And every
Yeah.
time there's an anniversary, believe me, it gets replayed.
I mean, Daniel Tosh was using it on Tosh.0.
See?
I mean, good stuff. What a memory. It's been so many great ones over the years, and that certainly was one of them. Now, Matt Russo looking to cut the deficit to 3 with a strike in the 8th and 9th.
He has not doubled yet.
Oh, my goodness. And all that is an adjustment off the shot before on that lane, where he went high.
Over here, it goes that way, and
It's just one of those days. His family knows. It's that old expression, Mama said there'd be days like this, and his mother is here along with his dad and his buddies and a goose. Ooh, that was close. While we're on an animal theme, we've got the turtle shirt. He, of course, kind of a trademark of Matt Russo. The 10th major in this building. 7 U.S. Opens, 2 USBC Masters, so the first time hosting a Players Championship here. Incredible champions have bowled here. Just about everybody you think of. Beautiful shot of any note in the history of professional bowling has been through this building. And you can't even imagine the countless number of very good bowlers who have come through here bowling their whole lives in this building. It's a unique place. It's larger than you think. 2 levels. We're on the upper level.
Norm Duke used to have blueprints for the center, like a schematic, and he said it was like bowling in 4 different centers.
Well, it was interesting to look at the topography reports, that were printed for the players. And that stuff is very, very interesting and very critical for the players gathering intel. But Norm was a very thorough man.
Yeah.
I think he would have 4 schematics just going to the grocery store, right?
I'm not sure there was a lot of players, right? I'm not sure there was a lot of players that knew the center better than Norm.
Well, picked up a big win here.
Maybe Johnny Petraglia, but still, I'm not sure. That was a good one. Yeah, that's a winner.
So Bill O'Neill has swept Matt Russo, and he takes up the final spot for Saturday next week.
Come on, let's go.
feel real bad for Matt Russo. He bowled so well all week long, and then to just watch the lanes get disintegrated by the bowling balls that blew up the left side of the lanes. So much surface was being used, and the hole pattern just couldn't withstand that kind of beating, and it showed with Matt Russo.
Well, the goose was cooked, but it's a very happy anniversary for the O'Neill family.
I'm all done. I don't bowl in that lane no more.
Hey, how about another 7-10 on the left lane?
Well, why not?
Doesn't matter.
Want to give him something to remember by.
Doesn't matter.
And, yeah, for Matt, it's a fine event. Finish in the top 8 with this field, which is always a studly one. And he finally doubles.
I only did it one time. Yeah. I untucked it. I was trying to flat 10 in the 10th. I untucked it and just rolled it at the 3-pin in hopes that I flat 10, and it actually worked out. Yeah, I don't know if I'll use that ball next time.
You'll probably have another one, a new one.
Or something.
That was Bill talking to his tour at Mike Wolf, former PBA champion Mike Wolf.
Stupid.
You know, Matt being a little hard on himself right now. But what happened to him is what has frequently happened to, say, a show with 4 right-handers and 1 lefty. Only this time it was 3 lefties and 1 right-hander, and he was the 3rd lefty. That's just the luck of or the bad luck of the draw.
Look at that.
Well,
very wiggle.
Yeah.
Glad it's over. And I'm sure Matt is as well.
Thank you.
Got a feel for him.
Thank you.
So your finalists, your semifinalists are McCune, Simonson, Buttriff, and O'Neill. And they will go at it head-to-head. McCune versus Simonson, Buttriff versus O'Neill next week. Kimberly is standing by with Bill.
Well, Bill, it looks like having the right side of the lane worked out for you today. From your point of view, what was going on over there?
Well, the left lane had me fooled the whole time. I didn't have much. I didn't throw great shots, and then when I did throw a couple good ones, they still didn't hit the pocket. But I was lucky to be the second match, and you know the guys that bowled the first match kind of chewed the lanes up on the left side there for Matt, and every time he got it left, it hooked high, and then he threw it hard, it went light, and just fortunate to be in the second match instead of the first one, because if I was in the first one, it would have been the same result.
Well, now you move on to the semifinals. Congratulations on that. But you're going to take on Jacob Buttriff. Thoughts?
Oh, I think I'm going to have a new game plan for the left lane. That's certain. It's probably going to be, a couple different balls in here, and I think I probably chased them too far left there. So I'm going to try to find something a little bit further right.
Now that you won for a second day in a row with your kids and family in tow, you think they're going to give you a little, yes, Dad, we'll do whatever it is that you want? And because it's your anniversary, they're going to do all the things that you ask of them in the next week or so?
Anybody that has kids knows that answer is absolutely not.
I can concur on that. Congratulations, and I think there's a happy family over there waiting for you.
All right, thank you.
Man, real super happy for Bill O'Neill. It's nice to see, isn't it?
It's wonderful to do it in front of your family. Let your children, his son, Gavin, his daughter Avery, and of course wife Christy, as they celebrate their 13th anniversary. Our coverage of the PBA Players Championship presented by Stickers concludes next weekend. Saturday on FS1 at 12:30 Eastern.
There's no gift. This is a gift. Yeah, this is a gift.
Semifinal action next Sunday on Fox at 1 Eastern. We crown our final major champion of the year. Coming up next year on FS1, it's the Masters Agility Championship at Westminster. For Randy Pedersen, Kimberly Pressler, and just the best crew you could ever imagine, I'm Dave Lamont. Hope you enjoyed the doubleheader today. You have been watching the PBA on FS1. Good night from New Jersey.
Oh, thank you.